Today's gonna be a good day. This is a day a lot of people have been waiting for. Meek is home. Yeah. So today we're gonna have a chance to, talk about his experience, talk about some of the things he's been through, talk about where he's going, most importantly. And by the way, and if you're watching us or even here, if you tweet, use the hashtag one of one, on Twitter, and then there's gonna be a portion at the end where we'll give a chance to ask some of those questions that you guys send on social media. So we're gonna get to that right now. This guy's story, man, it's like the extreme highs and lows, the wins and losses. We all rallied around him, and rightfully so. And now he is here. Please, everybody, make some noise for Meek. Hi!
What's up, man?
You look so good.
Okay.
Kevin Hart said you got fat, but you didn't get fat.
I was fat for a week.
For a week?
Yeah, I lost it. First week I came home, I lost it.
And then what did you do? You just...
No, I chill. I ain't go to sleep, I know that.
Have you slept since?
Yeah, I sleep. I've been getting good sleep for the last week, but when I first came home, I ain't sleep. I was in my cell. Actually, I was watching the news, and anybody in here been in jail before? You know what you eat in jail is like the worst kind of fish you could probably buy. I was eating like...
That's why I was surprised. How do you gain weight in jail if the fish is so... If
the
food
food
is
be
so
good.
bad?
People got years in. They learn how to cook real good.
The machines, the vending machines? All
No, you cook it straight from the muscle. You gotta
Really?
make it. It's hard to explain. We probably don't got enough time to explain it, but it's like a little bucket of water. You take the electrical socket out and you put the socket in the water and make the water boil, and that's like your oven basically.
Oh
So
my
we was
God.
cooking a lot. So we was eating a lot. I was.
And now you're back out eating good.
Yeah, back free.
Living good.
Yeah,
We've
definitely.
seen you, we saw you at the game. We saw you in Miami. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh,
You
yeah,
just had
thank
birthday
you.
on Sunday. You posted a picture of you blowing out the candles in Miami.
Yeah.
And you said something about the wish, or what did you wish?
I
Or what
can't tell you what I wish for. It might not come true. But if I had one wish, I would wish for another wish. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I would cheat.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
I would imagine while you were sitting inside, the wish was this moment, right? To be out.
Yeah, of course, to be free. And at this point right now, a lot of people, I thank everybody for the support they gave me, but my situation is really just like a platform for other people that's voiceless coming from where I come from, the situations I come from, of course. Many of you guys probably got other family members caught up in the system, some of them innocent, some of them might be stuck behind policies where they just can't get on their feet because most people come home on parole with felonies on their record. You want to sign up for a certain school, you're not able to sign up for certain schools, get a job, you're not able to get a job, so most people turn back. And
Yeah. You seem to like really, though, this time around, you just got a hold of that, like of your power and being that voice and being that advocate. What was different? I mean, I know you always have been a voice, but like I feel like you've stepped up in terms of being a
yeah,
voice
through
for
my
that.
raps, I always been a voice and speaking on these type things. That's why I think like I'm still like a street rapper. I know y'all know where rap at right now. You got all different types of raps.
That's why we need you.
You got mumble rap, you got trap rap, you got real rap, and I represent like I would say like the 90s mixed with the new century, all mixed in one. And I represent the streets, the people that come from the struggle, people that been through struggle, pain, and I always represented for minorities like myself, and they gave me a platform. Once I started seeing myself from a jail cell on CNN, Angie Martinez show, we talking about justice reform and stuff that people that's locked in cells away with, they'll never get a chance to even speak on their own behalf. So, I feel like I got a job to do.
You do have a job to do, because even through this whole process and talking to your lawyers and hearing your story, and it's like because you had money and because you had this amazing team, you were able to, really, that's how you got out, right?
Yeah.
So that's like limited access. Limited people have that access. Limited people have that type of bread to do that. So I'm just, what does that feel like inside? Do you feel like almost like you wish you could do that for everybody, I would imagine?
Yeah,
right?
I feel blessed. Even with my situation, like it's a situation, I was arrested by a corrupt cop.
Yes.
Being as though that this is being brought to the light, everybody that he arrested that's facing jail time or in prison because of him is getting back in court. Most likely, when you're arrested by a corrupt cop, charges are hard to hold against people, even if you was found guilty of them already. So it's already kicking in effect. And I always been like that. Everybody that follow me and been supporting me for a long time, I never like broke ties with the streets. And
Right.
when I say the streets, just not negative stuff. The people that come from the streets, I come from the streets myself. And most of the time in business, people rise to a certain level. They feel like it's not a need to reach back to the streets. I actually caught my case of Willie and the dirt bike. I was in New York. I could have been
This
a
is
man.
this is what sent him back to jail, right? It was
Yeah,
this moment.
yeah. They sent me back to jail, and I could have been in Manhattan. I could have went to a party in Manhattan, but I chose to go to Dykeman. I chose to touch.
Of course you did.
It's just in me like that. Now I got boundaries. I would move a little different because I don't want to be violated anymore. But that's just me, and that's how I always been.
But this story is crazy. It's number one.
I don't think it's.
You don't think it's that crazy?
No, I don't think it's that crazy because I be telling my friends, like some guys, like they billionaire guys, they Jewish, they never even seen the inside of a prison before me.
Yeah.
And they've been making money for long periods of time. They never was arrested. They grew up in good areas where police contact is little. You don't come in contact with the police as much as
Right.
a city kid would. And they be saying like your situation crazy. I know even some people in here like, my cousin got life for a murder that he didn't do. There's people in jail sitting 25, 30 years. They have evidence showing that they're not guilty for a certain crime, but
Yeah.
the way the laws and policies are made, they'll never get back in court.
And I guess how it was like broken down that we found out everything. So I had to sit with like Desiree for 2 hours to fully understand.
Yeah.
Literally.
Shout out to Des.
And then I took it to the radio, and when I did say it, I realized a lot of other people didn't understand the case as much. Number one, that the probation has been going on for this long. It's like setting you up to fail, right?
Yeah,
like anything you do is gonna fit.
I just turned 31 years old. I've been on probation since I was 19. If you follow me, I haven't been back to prison for a crime since I was 19.
Yeah.
I got found guilty of pointing a gun at, like, in the middle of a drug raid. Like, it's 10 cops coming my way. I got found guilty of pointing a gun at 2 of them. I don't know if we did a poll in here right now, who would believe I pointed a gun at
And you're still
10
here.
cops and not had a single
Yeah.
shot fired at me.
Did you know back then that cop had a history of like?
No, I didn't know he had no
corruption?
history. I
Right.
know that they knocked me out like 4 times. If you seen my mugshot, I got knocked out
did.
like
I
4
think they have
times.
it too.
I woke up and asked my cousin, I was like, is this the cops? Because they was in plain clothes. And when you coming out of going in and out of conscious, I wake up and like, is this the police or we getting kidnapped? Because at the time,
Yeah.
you know, we was in the streets and, you know, you see a lot of shit every day. You see a lot of rough things every day. So, you know.
What do you tell that kid now? Like, it's funny because I have a godson, he's 18, he's getting ready to go to college, and I was thinking when I saw the Dateline special and I saw how young you were, and I think about that, like high school kids graduating, getting ready to go to college. This is what's happening to you in your life,
Like my main thing I be wanting to touch on because it's a world in America where people don't understand where we come from. They like, all right, you violated probation, or you shouldn't have been in a drug area, or you shouldn't have got arrested. No, this is our life. It's like when Kanye said, well, you got a choice to be a slave. I didn't have a choice to grow up in PHA. I was born in public housing. I was born, my mom was on welfare when I was born. I had a choice as I grew up to be able to change that and work as I grew to change my situation, but I grew up in that. And I know it's a lot of other young kids growing up in these type of situations. When I did Dateline the other day, I was with like 6, 7 little kids. I asked them, like, how many of y'all seen somebody get shot before? Everyone said me, except for one of them. It was 6 little kids. They 6, 7 years old.
That's terrible.
And they're going to see that for the rest of their life. Not for the rest of their life, but as they grow up. And they're going to be traumatized. And they're going to turn, some of them going to turn to the streets. It's mandatory. And people put us in certain areas where, well, he deserved it. If your son smoked marijuana, he deserved to go to state prison for 2 to 4 years. That don't make sense. And when you could be put in rehabilitation, you could be put in programs. It's like people with opioid addictions. I know y'all hear a lot of people, but a drug.
What is it with the opioids,
The
man?
rap industry is based on what? Percocets, right?
No, it's not. Not everybody.
It's not.
I mean, I know some
I don't think
people.
you can hear,
What
like-
is it? I know you and it was weird that you caught that addiction like later on.
Yeah, I was.
How does that happen, Meek?
Perks. It was a real deal to the perks. You know perks. Anybody ever took a perk in here before?
Lie.
Yeah, that's
Somebody's lying. Somebody.
They make you have sex for a long time when you take
This is
perks.
what happened.
Yeah, you be high too, but it's like I actually took him from a dentist one time, and a girl had gave me one later on. It wasn't like me. I'm a hustler. I came from being a hustler. I seen
Like,
drugs
drugs is
destroy
not
people.
cool, right?
I seen what drugs do to people my whole life. It's like cocaine would never be on the list of somebody. I seen what it do my family members, my friends, mothers, and stuff like that. Heroin, Molly. I don't even know
So
what
how
Molly
did you get
is.
addicted to that?
I always thought that it was like if the doctor would give it to you for a toothache, it wouldn't be
It'd
like
be okay.
that powerful until you get on it. And now you taking it, your body get used to you taking it.
And you went to rehab too, right?
Yeah, I went to rehab 2017 because I just wanted to clear my system. Like I wasn't like, y'all probably seen me 7 days a week. I was fully functioning off Percocets because
Like every day
my
taking
body
it.
was addicted to it, not my mind was addicted to it. And you know, I just got flushed out, got my body flushed. Right back to the money. So if you see me on Instagram, I was wilding and just acting crazy and doing a lot. I probably was high. I wasn't in.
Yeah.
I wasn't in my Meek Mill mind. I'm a hustler. We ain't come up like
Yeah.
getting high off drugs. It was like marijuana and that's it. I never in a million years.
It's crazy that you would be going through that and we didn't notice it, because also a thought that I had was when I'm thinking about how long you've been on probation, the fact that you've been able to achieve as much as you have under that, like, you know, he can't travel. You know, we're seeing him, you know, I'm a boss is out, but he got to check in with the judge to make sure he could go out of town or do all those moments.
Yeah, it's something simple like this.
Like your probation is like underlying your whole career.
How far is the tunnel from here?
Which one?
To go to New Jersey, the closest one.
10 minutes? 15
10
minutes?
minutes.
Lincoln
My
Tunnel?
son live across the tunnel, basically.
Yeah.
10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
If my son, he go to after school program, he got to school like 5:30. Probation closed at 4 o'clock. If I was to leave from here and go home and my son called me and say, could you pick me up from school? If it's past 4 o'clock, I got to call a probation officer, which they won't be in the office, and can't even pick my son up 10 minutes away just because of a bridge. Like, and really, you could make it simple. I could give my probation officer the address to my son's school and tell her it's 10 minutes across the bridge. Let's work out an agreement where I'm able to go get my son from school any day I want. Because if I got to call another another lady just to go pick my son up from school, it would be hard for me to build a proper relationship with my son.
Yeah.
And I'm telling them I'm coming. I'm doing Angie today. If I make it back in time.
You had to get approval for today, right?
Yeah, I gotta get approval for anything. If I go home and don't report it to my probation officer, like if I just leave here, go in the house, go to sleep, and my sister put a picture on Instagram, my brother sleep in Philadelphia, the judge and them will probably be on Instagram, see it. Oh, you ain't notify us that you was back in Philadelphia, and it could have been a simple mistake.
Let's talk about the judge for a second, because there was a lot of allegations by the legal team that she was like inappropriate, showing up at your like community service and asking you to do songs.
Yeah, and not to really badmouth, because I'm still under the thumb of her, but there was situations where like the judge at my community service, every time I go see my probation officer, the district attorney is in my probation officer. They're in the office, so it's like a probation officer screaming at me. A district attorney is screaming at me, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, yes, yes, yes. And they would get mad because I ain't talking back. I'm just agreeing with everything. And things became more tighter and tighter and tighter. And it was like anything I did was an issue.
Yeah. And so she's been there, you've been dealing with this with the judge since your original sentence.
Yeah.
So is there like a weird dynamic that happens when you have a judge that long on your case where they get like emotionally kind of attached to
That's what it
what's
feel like.
happening with you?
It feel like it don't feel like it's something going on. Did anybody here follow the story? It feels like it's some type of different attachment to it. Even the guys in jail was like, yo, what you do to her? What's going on? I'm like, I don't even know her.
What is going on? What did you do?
I probably seen her in court probably 42 times, and she probably feel like she know me to a certain level. And I always try to tell her in court, like, what you see is not like, if I go to a club and they shooting at a club tonight, this is what I do. I make my money in like
in this environment,
in dark areas where like, if I go to Brooklyn tonight, it might not be too nice around that area where I'm booked to perform at, but I don't have nothing to do with if they shooting outside.
Yeah.
She see it on the headline on Instagram. They was shooting outside a club where Meek Mill performed. That don't have nothing to do with me. If they was shooting at a Ariana Grande concert or something happened to people, you can't fault her for that or fault any artist for what happened outside of a concert.
The crazy thing about this case too is that, so when this paperwork came out that these cops were on this list of like they've lied before, they have corruption, and so in your original case they hid that, right? They
Yeah.
hid that the case should technically probably be thrown away at this point. So the mayor's visiting you, the DA said yes, we agree, he should be out, and then it was just the judge, right, that kept
Yeah.
you in.
I actually was released by like a 3-judge panel, I think it was, in Supreme Court.
They went over her.
Yeah, that's the highest state court you could go to. You got Superior,
Yeah.
Supreme the highest, Superior, and Common Pleas where she was. A 3-panel judge made a decision, a ruling to let me out. And the narrative I be wanting to get across is that if somebody like me I got a lot going, I got a lot of resources, I'm making good money for myself, I travel a lot, I'm not hanging like in bad areas, I make mistakes. I was once addicted to a Percocet. I love Willie and dirt bikes. I've been riding dirt bikes my whole life, but it don't mean any mistake I make, I should be put in prison for any mistake. And that goes for anybody that's caught up in the system under these type policies. If you got a brother and he got locked up when he was 18, he's 32 now, and he got locked up for Starbucking while he black.
I heard you say that. Like,
Yeah.
you would have been arrested if you'd have been in that Starbucks.
You Starbucking while you
You'd be in
black,
prison.
and you get arrested, police contact.
That's a hashtag.
Seriously though, police contact is a violation.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be found guilty for a crime in Pennsylvania. Like, I could walk out of here and somebody be like, oh, I think he robbed me. The cops could take me to the police station, file a report, let me go.
Right.
I'm still in violation. So that makes no sense for
Yeah.
inner city kids who grew up where if we walk down the street to the Chinese store, you might get pulled over by the police. That's just a regular day for us. When you drive in a car with tinted windows, you might get pulled.
It's like, how do you get up from underneath that? It's like it makes it impossible, right?
Yeah, if it's that hard for me, how hard is it for a kid that lives on a drug infested neighborhood where all he sees is crime, is drugs everywhere? How do you survive?
Yeah. Did you worry at any point when you were inside that this term, like, you'd be sitting in there for 2 years?
Yeah, I worry every day. 2
You did?
years, I was sick.
Yeah.
Wouldn't y'all be? If Popping
Yes.
the Willie, what's up with you two? Popping the Willie on the bike. A lot of media.
And you were out, and then you had all this success, and you had all these great things, and then you're back inside. Like, what does that feel like? I mean, a lot of us never have experienced that. Like, what is that like inside 169 days? Was it?
Yeah.
169 days.
It's a culture shock. Like, sometimes I sit back. The new thing is what I see on social media. I see like everybody on social media, like, and not talking about the guy that was crying on your show. Everybody cries on social media. No, seriously, everybody cries on social media.
But you happened to see the guy crying on my show.
Yeah, I seen it when I came home, like around that time. I'll be surfing. I'll be everywhere.
You're not out the mix?
Everybody cries on social media, and everybody. I'm not here to show pity about what I went through. I'm here to be strong and like take my situation and be a sacrifice, because I always was a sacrifice. Being as though I made it, I'm the only one out of my community that made it this far in my neighborhood. I'm the sacrifice that got to work hard 7 days a week to help maybe my friend that grew up in a hood that got 4 felonies. He won't never be able to get a job again. We could turn him into a barber, a manager, whatever he want to be, whatever the hand calls for. It was real. I got real problems, just like everybody in here probably got real problems. I ain't getting on social.
Anytime I asked about anybody, they said you were in good spirits and that you were
I was stressing. It was real. I don't act like I never
Like, it
get
was
out
sweet.
of
It wasn't
situations
sweet.
like that and present to like younger dudes like, oh, it wasn't nothing. No, it was serious. I take care of my whole family tree. I take care of my grandmother, my mom, my mom's daughter, my mom's daughter's daughter. Like, I got real responsibilities.
Yeah.
I got a 6-year-old son. I got even his mom. I take care of his mom. So when I'm in jail, everything stops. So it's a lot of pressure on me. So
Yeah.
it was a rough situation, but you know.
What do you tell your son about that? What do you tell your kid?
Everybody was lying to my son, saying I was in school and stuff like that. I ain't really cool with like lying to my son. I wanted them to understand what was going on. It was kind of hard to explain to him that.
How old is he?
6 years old.
Oh,
He
yeah.
turned 7 in a week, so basically 7. But it was hard to explain to him that I got locked up for popping a willie because he live in New Jersey. We got like a bunch of dirt bikes at the house. We ride dirt bikes on the street 7 days a week. Anytime I'm home, that's all we do. If you follow me on Instagram over the years, you would see me like outside my mom's house on the bikes with my son. And all my neighbors, they're mixed. So some of them Asian, some of them Caucasian. They all got dirt bikes. And the police, they don't say anything to us. We ride it every day. And I'm like, I got locked up. I was riding a dirt bike. He like, but we ride dirt bikes every day. We don't
That's
never
what you
get
told
locked
them?
up for it.
Yeah.
So it was like.
So when you're inside too, and everybody's like hollering "Free Meek," literally, like even Beyonce is on the song, you know.
Yeah, it was unbelievable when Beyonce said it in the song. I think I did a backflip off the toilet in the cell. I had to listen to it twice. Like,
were you
Beyonce,
on the toilet? Does that have a visual
Beyonce
now that I will
just
never
sing
be able
like,
to erase?
No, for real. It was that moment, and when the Eagles won a Super Bowl,
Yeah,
that was 2 days. I
that
felt
was so
like
good.
I wasn't in jail at that point. And me, I was overwhelmed. I couldn't believe it. I grew up in an area where like we never had no support. My dad died when I was young, like, and I was telling Des this earlier. When I got like my dad died, I always thought that all my uncles would like take care of me. But my mom told me one day like they got kids too, because I used to have like A's and B's on my report card up to like the 3rd grade. I used to get good grades, great grades, and I would take my report card to my other family members and show them. And in the hood, like when you do good in school, people like give you presents. They show you appreciation.
Right.
Nobody, it wasn't nothing. It was like my Aunt Beverly and my grandma. I'm the only one that was like, take $1 or $5. And I was telling my mom, like my birthdays would come around and nobody wouldn't really give me presents but my mom. And I was asking her why. She was like, people had their own kids and got their own responsibilities.
Yeah.
And that let me know that there's not really no support but my mom and my sister growing up. So having this type of support overwhelmed me, and it made me step up to be able to support other people, seeing people support me in that way. Because you know where a lot of people in here, if you come from the hood, we grew up with no support at all. You lucky to have a mom and a dad. Some people even don't even have a mom in the house. They're raised by their grandmoms. And we don't have support. So just to have that type of support changed my life, to see that many people support me at one time.
Yeah, it affected us outside. Well, I was emotional when I saw the Eagles win. I don't really care about football like that.
Yeah.
But seeing them support you like that, and I don't know, it was a really powerful moment. And then, the protests and people coming out. Somebody told me that you watched one of the protests in the rain, like people were outside in the rain and you watched that from inside.
Yeah, I seen it on the news, like people standing out in the rain for me that didn't know me. It changed my life. I'm like, there's no way. Like, even on Instagram, social media, like, yo, when you dropping something new? I'm like, soon. I know how to rap. We definitely gonna get to that. We're gonna address everything we need to address. But I feel like I got a responsibility because people screaming "Free Meek" while they still got other family members in jail. Yeah. And I feel like I should use my platform to help some of the people that supported me, no matter if it helps your family member directly, but just to give off the same energy that they gave to me. If I came right back out and then, I'm at Starlet's tomorrow in a strip club throwing 10,000 ones, people going like, I waste my time standing out in the rain to support you, and I got 3 cousins that's locked up that I ain't supporting publicly in the same way. You might be supporting personally, but people took their time and efforts to support me, so I feel like I got a job to do, and I feel like God put me on this path for a reason. So,
how does that affect the music, right? So you have this role, like you like this voice now for reform.
I told Jay that earlier. I was like, I'm almost scared to rap, but I was.
Yeah, because it's like it's also the attention. Like your platform is bigger. I feel like people who didn't know your name maybe in different circles, they know it now, and
they still got to come into my world though.
Right.
I call like rapping is like being a social forecaster. I've been traumatized. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've been through a lot of stuff. Everybody in here don't have to go to jail to hear about a song about me rapping about what I went through when I went to jail. Yeah. You don't have to live in the streets or be involved in drug activity or violence to understand what I'm talking about. I just feel like I still got to be Meek Mill. I'm Meek Mill. I grew up in the life of the streets and seeing certain things that I talk about in my raps. And I'm going to continue to be me, and I'm going to continue to...
But is that soon? Is that music soon? Like...
I ain't go to the studio yet. Any other time I would...
I thought you did. I thought I read somewhere that you like went into the studio.
Look, I ain't get to finish the story. I'm watching the news. They say Meek Mill, you getting out on bail.
That was him checking me, by the way.
Well, no, not like that.
I love you. It's okay.
I'm looking at the news, and they like, Meek Mill free on bail. I jump up, I'm happy. 10 minutes later, the lady coming to the door telling me to pack my stuff because she know the whole jail gonna be riled up because everybody watching the news. I packed my stuff. I went to the receiving room. I walked out. A short time after, we got in the car, rode across the street, got in the helicopter, landed, went to the Sixers game. I met with the governor. We went out to eat. I went in the house, laid down. I ain't go to sleep all night. I did my little Instagram check, see what's going on in the world. I've been gone 6-8 months.
You little scroll?
Yeah,
Did you go in the DM?
Scroll. Yeah, checking my DM, seeing what chicks falling through. Who cared about me? Who posted me? The people I know that I got love for. I'm just checking things out. I ain't go to sleep for 1 second. I woke up the next day. I did Dateline, so it was just like life just kept moving at a fast pace, and I was overwhelmed. And I'm like, let me put this first. This is
important.
Yeah, this is very important. I know how to rap, and it's coming real soon. I probably got 100 unreleased songs. If you follow me, you know I post snippets of songs like 1,000 times a week.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm on to it very soon. I can't tell you what day, but I'm going to lock in the studio.
You not ready to drop nothing today?
I can if I really want to.
I believe you.
But being as though what I went through, I feel like I got a whole new energy. I just want to feel hungry. I ain't rapping 8 months. I ain't writing out one rap in jail.
Is that weird for you? You're such a spitter. Like 8 months of
No, I only can rap when I feel good. I don't write my raps down. So when I write my raps down, it like throw me off. Like in jail, you don't have nothing but time. So you gotta like, well, I use beats to write. It wasn't really beats here. I gotta, so I wasn't really rapping. People walking, you want to battle? I'm like, I don't want to battle, man. I'm trying to battle home. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to battle this jazz.
You ain't rap with nobody. You ain't rap with nobody.
I probably rap with one person probably like one time, but I ain't like not in front of open sentence. People walking up in jail, you can't play with people like that. Like, yo, spit something for me. What you gonna be telling me to do next if you got me like on karaoke time? It was like, you gotta draw a line in there. It's still the wild jungle inside them walls, so I just play back.
How do they treat you back? Like you're a celebrity? You know, you're Meek. I mean, is it a different? Do they put you in a different
CEOs treat you worse, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because like 6:30 in the morning, you gotta stand up. It's called standing count. You gotta stand up.
Yeah.
But really, after, if you got time in, they don't really make you stand up. You just gotta sit up and make sure you're alive. As long as they see you moving, they used to come to my cell and be like, I sit up and put my feet on the ground. They'd be like, get up, just like who you think you are. All the CEOs used to treat me like who I think. I'm like, I don't think I'm anybody, man. I'm in jail. I would rather be off the radar to the CEOs because they put extra pressure on me. All cameras follow me every day. I can't do nothing really that the regular inmates are really doing. I'm around all regular inmates, but even the inmates want to back up away from me a little bit because it's like, yo, he hot. Get away from everybody watching him. Right. But it was cool. After 3-4 months kicked in.
You know what's crazy too is like, and I remember the last time I interviewed you, we were in the studio and you were talking about having those addictions and that whole time of everybody kind of, you know, that whole thing with Drake happened, and a lot of people were writing you off. Is Meek after Back to Back came out? It was a real like anti-Meek. Meek might be.
It was that over on the internet though. It wasn't that in real life. It was still a world of people that was like, I'm still walk out the door and take 55 pictures as soon as I step on the pavement.
Yeah, 100%.
So I had to really step back and really analyze what was going on and. You know, I just...
But it's turned around. Like, I feel like even people who may have been feeling that way at that point, I feel like are now rooting for you. Like, a lot of them same people. Do you feel that difference, that shift of, like, I don't know, people kind of, like, rooting for you again?
Anybody got wins and losses?
Yes.
I said, watch everybody change. They thought I lost it. But now they all busting U's. It's going to cost them. Like, that was my vision. When people like, yo, Meek Mill done. I'm like, no, you tripping. I don't know what you high. I ain't getting high no more. You high. You think I'm done. I ain't came too long. You know how many, if you follow me really from like rap DVDs, YouTube, this wasn't my worst. This was bad, but I had like worse where like I was going to like, it was like always up and down for me, and I always been a fighter. I'm strong. Even when people was like, are you okay? People was like, are you okay? I'm like, yo, I've been to prison before. I've been locked in a cell 23 hours a day for months straight. This is like social media. Kind of you look at it like, damn, is it true? Do everybody not feeling me right now? And then you kick back into it. Like, I feel myself. I believe in myself. When nobody believe in me, even like a lot of these people, I go look at their page. I be like, you don't even look like you ever listen to my music. You don't even come from where I come from.
Right.
I don't really care about your opinion. I believe in myself. And I knew after the situation, I'm like, all I gotta do, I took the wrong steps. I didn't execute the right way, but I knew I just had to walk. Like, you could take the train. Now I feel like after this situation, the elevator came, put me right back on the platform to be able to deliver my music to
a lot of people.
A lot of people worldwide, the same way it would have been. It's even bigger than I ever been in my life. I've been on Dateline since I ain't make a new song yet. CNN.
It's crazy. I mean,
all types of platforms.
It is that
situation.
alone. There's inspiration in that alone. Like somebody who just is constantly knocked back down and constantly, like, you seem to hold your head and you seem to forward motion with it at every turn, which is.
And what I was saying about people like being a victim, like everybody tried on Instagram, like, and I've been analyzing everything. Everybody tried on Instagram because the social media world, they attend to people when they feel like people are victims.
Oh, you think people play the victim to then get the?
A lot of people do, but even like when I was, even like a lot of people stayed down with me, but when I got in a situation, even if you like me a little bit, you wanted the support. If you had any type of love, or if I ever inspired you, or you ever listened to my music, I just think people want to step up for people when they're in need more than when you're doing your thing. And I think a lot of people was already there in position to step up for me because a lot of people supported me, but the people who were shaky up and down, you know, social media don't love nobody. I think
so
everybody.
It's evil place.
I don't know. Everybody gonna get. I tell celebrities all the time, like, everybody gets their day with social media, and sometimes when people go through stuff, I call them. I'm like, yo, man, don't let no comments get to you, because y'all would never know there's celebrities sitting in their house and these comments are eating them alive at heart. That's why I like how Cardi B plays. I seen them when I first came out. She was like, yo, y'all are killing me. Y'all know, y'all driving me crazy. The best thing for a celebrity is to hold it in and not say it, but it's the truth. If you got 5,000 people in your comments talking crazy about you, in the hood where we come from, all we know is if somebody talk crazy about you, attack, anger, act crazy, immediately stop it.
You've had a few of those moments.
Yeah, stop it right here on the spot.
You've had a few of those.
This is not that. This is somebody from London talking crazy. You in North Philly, he in London trolling you.
With 2
days
followers.
A week, for real.
And no picture.
Your baby is ugly. Your mother, you know what I'm saying?
You can't win that.
It's a new world. Like,
it's horrible.
I believe in a few years they're gonna have like social media cyber cops where like, I'm telling you, it's coming soon. I'm calling it out now.
It has to be regulated at some point.
Everybody else not strong enough. Like, a lot of people come from the ghetto where like, people would rip you for your mom being on, your mom on crack. They would break your heart, for real. We come up getting our hearts broken 7 days a week. Don't come to school with no Payless on. Don't have no hole in your sneaks because they're going to give it to you. So I ain't going to say built for it, but I was already prepared for things like this. Everybody not built for that. And I just think that when I got in a position, when I got in a bad situation, a lot of people wanted to step up for me because I represent what a lot of people represent. My brand is called Dream Chasers. When you see people talking Dream Chasers, you got sports players with $200-300 million contracts. They screaming out Dream Chaser, not because there's no rap stuff, because it's a lifestyle. The same thing, probably when they was 18 years old, they was watching me on YouTube with the nappy braids on the corner rapping, and I might have got on before them. They seen me climb year for year and actually get on. Like, you could look at YouTube and see somebody go from being broke to actually making it. Where we come from, you don't see that. You see a lot of people fail. You see a lot of people get murdered, go to jail. So in your mind, they train you to think you're going to fail. Now we got access to like the internet where you could follow a guy for 4 or 5 years and watch him grow. So I think a lot of people wanted to step up for me, and I appreciate it. I was actually overwhelmed that I got that type of support.
It was inspiring to see. Even Drake was like in Australia and shouted "Free Meek."
Yeah, because and I appreciate that. Everybody that stepped up, the way I'm even coming back, like with, like not rap beef, like if I had a problem with somebody in the street years before, if I ran into him today, I'd be like, yo, whatever's going on, y'all, we keep that where it's at, because I'm different now. I just came from sitting with people that got life over senseless murders, and they never gonna see the other side of the gate. And I got a lot of people riding on me. Like I had thousands of people support me at one time. What I look like going back inside a prison or letting my family down or my son down about some petty old stuff that happened years ago.
I remember when Remy came out, she said that she, after doing that, she said that she had to like reach out to anybody that she had like lingering, I don't know, beefs with, or because the same thing, she wanted to like let it go. I thought that was really, I don't know, just interesting.
Yeah, because when you coming from that side, you gotta really understand that.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be in this position that where you just came from? Like I'm upstate where I'm sitting. It's this many people in the room got life. Like you in here with this many people, and out of probably 5 of them don't got more than 20 years. Everybody else got long sentences, and you just the one here with 2 years. You still got to be humble. Even though I had a 2-year sentence, I was sick, but I still had to be humble because I was around people just like me. They're never coming home. They got 40 years, 60 years, or life sentences, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. They give you a different outlook on life. And even being able to speak at situations like this, a lot of them guys in there, they taught me. They play like the uncle role or big brother role. They taught me how to speak and like things to address that
are important.
Yeah, that people like me been going through for years, and things that was important, basically.
I know we're running out of time. I just wanted to get a couple of social media questions because we said.
Can we get a couple real questions on social media? They say anything.
Niggas ain't even here.
For real.
It's a little scary. It could be a little scary. You can put them on the prompter. Oh, there they go. There they come right now. We're just about out of time, but I definitely wanted to make sure we get to some of those.
Yeah.
Let's see.
People in jail screaming out. Like, I'd be walking through the hallway, yo, what's up with Nikki? I was like, yo, this been over for a long time now. They don't even know, though. Like, they just like, that's
what did it say?
What it was like. I was like, what? That's just a regular thing I was dealing with, people just shouting out all types of stuff.
That might happen for the rest of your life.
No, I think they just outdated a little bit. They
still think maybe you're still together.
Like think it's just on. I'm like, nah, dude, you 2 years, you a year and some change back, man. It's all good, bro.
He said, what was it like, though?
Yeah, and then it's like, I would tell a guy, like, yo, that's like me asking you about what your baby mom was like. And I asked you about your old girlfriend and something. Which, come on, man. I would be a sucker if I answered the question. Yeah,
we would be entertained, but you would slightly be a sucker, yes.
Yeah,
totally. But we would all be entertained. Jason said, I saw you posted Wale yesterday on his new project. What's the relationship like with him nowadays?
Wallace, he like family to me. And I mean, we had our little run-ins or whatever. We definitely made an agreement that any public is off the table. Anything public is off the table. I don't care if we got to throw some gloves on. I don't care if we got to scream at each other all day. And I don't think we ever going to that stage again because we found the understanding, but that's family, 100%. This is the people, him and Rick Ross, when I first came in the game, these are the people that helped me change my mother's situation. My mom was living in the hood. They helped assist me make it to levels where I could change my family situation, so that's family.
You said that Kanye's music inspired you or held you down while you was locked up, or there was a quote, right, that you said touched you.
To whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested and guess until he learned his lesson. That like touched me. I felt like that was my situation. Like I was sitting there, God was giving me a test. Like, do you really want to be on this side or do you want to be on that side? And I don't know if you paid attention before I went to prison. Every interview I was doing, I was really talking the truth. I'm talking to these young boys like, yo, don't be out here running around getting high. Don't be running around with 1,000 tattoos on your face. And I know that's the new era. I don't judge them. I don't take anything from them. But I try to leadership. Like when Jay-Z was 35 years old and I was 15 years old, some of the stuff he said stuck with me for a long time. And, you know, I just wanted to clean up. I made a decision like, yo, you're going to be thugged out Meek Mill on Instagram, Twitter, getting into a bunch of circus business, because that's what I call it, circus business. being involved in a bunch of stupid stuff that could cause you to lose your freedom or jeopardize your career, or
It's not
you're
worth
gonna
it.
be a boss that been through everything that these young guys are claiming that they're doing now. I've been through all that. I did it, seen it. I made it through. There's no need for me to be pretending like that's my life. I'm a rap. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get money. I'm gonna continue to inspire people and make moves. That's it.
What did you? Somebody said, what was the music that kept you sane while you was locked up?
I was listening to a lot of real stuff. Y'all was just playing in here with Jay-Z, the Becoming a sequel with him and Memphis Bleak. Hold On with
Can
Pusha.
you listen to that inside?
Yeah,
You can listen to
You
music.
go get a tablet and you can buy music. It's not like iTunes or nothing, but it's
Dated? Is it dated stuff or is it like new?
It's so complicated. Like you can't even spell it. If you spell a word, a song with one letter off, you don't get it. Like however the print is on a CD or on
very
iTunes,
specific.
you have to type it in and search it that way.
Could you get new music too? Like, could you get like Cole's album drop? You know,
Yeah,
couple-
I ain't have Cole album. I left I think the week that his album came out. I had the newest album I had was like what was coming out that was like that? I had Nipsey album. I had
Cardi?
Migos album. I ain't have Cardi album. I love Cardi music. I love
I know
all
you
the
do.
girls' music, but
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be in the jail cell banging Cardi. Even if I would have bought it in jail, that wouldn't have been my thing right there. Much love, much respect. I can't be in my cell like talking, doing Barty gang, you know what I'm saying?
You're free now. That now you can do it outside.
I had a lot of new guys, like I had Moneybagg Yo, I had Gunna, Lil Baby. Who else is new? That came out that was high. I had Future and Young Thug, CD. Of course, I had classic. I had like DMX, Nas, Jigga, Jeezy,
Classics.
Tip,
Yeah.
Wayne, because that's the era of like legendary music I came up to.
Yeah.
So I had a stash in that. And of course, I sat back and analyzed my music, like what can I do different to become better? So I had a lot of my music that got me through rough time.
Your music gets people through a lot.
Huh.
Your music gets people through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What about this documentary? I know we have to go, but I had to know. There's a documentary coming, right?
Yeah, I did a deal with Amazon. It's being produced by Jay-Z, and basically just breaking down the dynamics of the justice system and the errors and the policies and the laws that's entrapping young minorities like myself that's been caught up in the web of the system for years, and just breaking it down piece for piece, because you always got people that's going to look at something on the news or social media and be like, he violated probation.
Right.
You don't really understand the steps on what happened and why the person was put in prison. So we just giving you a breakdown of everything and
Wow.
using my situation as a platform, because a lot of people be like, why are they worrying about him? I don't care about it being like me. I rap. I get attention on a daily basis. I don't care about getting extra credit for doing something for people in a good way.
No, you feel like you have a calling at this point, right? It's like a
Yeah, I'm like that.
Yeah.
If anybody know, like a lot of people see me on Instagram with my friends. I got friends with me from day one that like, I should have been left this guy in the hood, but I'm like, I got so much of a good heart. Like I want to see everybody
Right.
win. Any new artists come out, if I like your music, I'm posting on my Instagram. A lot of these guys, you can't even get like support from your own family members or friends. I'm the artist that's still keeping the game leveled out. When it's a new artist that's at the whole hood saying he hot, I ain't acting like I don't know he not hot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him the platform of these however million followers I got.
what can we do? You know, because you got all this support from people. Everybody was hollering free Meek, and I know you're trying to change the narrative. I mean, clearly you're out right now. You still have some. Your case might get tossed, right?
Yeah.
We think that. We're hopeful about that.
Yeah.
So then what's next? What do you ask all these people that were supporting you to, like, what is the call to action? How do we...
Even any
sup-
show, like even situations like these, I would ask to continue to make this a
Conversation.
situation. Don't let like my situation die down and then that's just the end of the story. It's
Yeah.
just like when young kids get shot by police and like we hashtag them for 6 months and we just move on. No, let's keep this the narrative. Let's not let bad things keep happening to our people, and only addressing it when it's maybe a public figure or somebody gotta lose their life. Let's make a change.
Have you spoken to, because I know this is all still ongoing too, like you're still dealing with this, right? You have to go back to court and hopefully
in
they
June.
can get it tossed out. But some people's, so his attorneys, I guess they uncovered this list of these corrupt cops, and so not only does it affect you, it affected like
Thousands of other
hundred
people,
or
yeah.
thousands, I don't know how many other cases.
Yeah.
And some of those have already been tossed, right? Like some of those people are
Yeah,
home.
they started off. They only tossed 3.
Okay.
Because anytime you locked up by a corrupt cop is
But that's 3 people who are free because of work that your team has done, which is that's
it's
gotta
great.
feel.
I
pretty-
always say that if I come to a prison for juveniles, and some of them not listening, they worrying about going back to the streets. I always tell them, if I could save one of y'all, I feel like I did my job. I want to save all 105 of y'all, but if I could save one, I would still sleep good at night knowing I did my job. So the mission is just to carry on. People supported me, and I feel like I owe a good deed to support the people and help
amazing.
give change.
That's amazing.
And I'm still gonna be Meek Mill because a lot of people got me.
Yeah,
I'm
because it's like-
I ain't gonna be Martin Luther King though.
I wondered
No,
that.
seriously though,
Yeah,
because
no.
a lot of people put me in a boxing.
Because you don't make like
I want to
clean,
have the
family
impact. I want
friendly-
to have the impact of
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, but I don't want to be Martin Luther King. I'm still Meek Mill. Martin Luther King wasn't a rapper. He was like a civil rights activist. I'm
Meek
still
Mill.
a rapper at the same. Meek Mill at the same time. So you know,
Right.
I feel like I got big responsibilities to take care on this side, and you know, I got big responsibilities to take care in the studio and keep people inspired.
Yes, you do. Have you spoken to quickly though to any of those people that got out?
Yeah, I still talk to some guys that got life that they in bad situations where there's no evidence pointing to their convictions. They actually know they're not convicted. They didn't commit the murder, but they tied up in the web. So I've been keeping in contact. There's a few dudes that I keep in contact with.
No, I meant of the people that got out because of that information.
I never seen any of them. I never seen any of them ever.
They would have to be aware too, right? That it was.
Yeah, I kind of believe that they're aware. Like everybody know, cause it's in the newspaper who
Yeah.
has the same cops. But I didn't keep up with it.
Yeah, I'm sure those paths will cross at some point.
Yeah.
That's pretty great, man. Well,
Angie's husband actually wrote me while I was in prison. He gave me a bunch of game.
Oh.
Is he in here now?
he is here somewhere.
He gave me a bunch of game.
Where are you, Randy? Oh, he's not in here.
Yeah, he
In
gave-
the
he
back.
gave me a
He's in the
bunch-
back. Sorry.
He gave me a bunch of game for like days like this. Like when you get out, make sure you do what you need to do. And
That's so funny because you didn't even know him, right? And I
No.
didn't know he said that either till just recently. He just
but a
told
lot of
me.
people think I probably get 50 pieces of mail a day. People was writing me. Everybody would start off, I know you're not gonna read this message. I'm like, I ain't got nothing but time, and no, seriously. Like I said, I never really had support. Even when you out being a rapper, you out in the world and you're a public figure, you feel the support, but sometimes it's overwhelming. It's every day. Now you sitting
Yeah.
down in the cell where you can't use that phone. At night, it's 3 in the morning. You locked in that little room by yourself. I actually needed the encouragement from the letters that people were sending me. So if people send me letters, I would feel guilty if I let a pile of letters just sit in the corner on my cell and people actually took the time to write me. So
Yeah.
I read every letter, and
That's
one of them
amazing.
having them be like, yo, I'm Angie husband, man. Make sure you
I had
stay
no
on your
idea.
game,
It's
do what you
amazing.
gotta do when you get out of there. And I appreciated that from
That's
every
love.
single person that wrote me.
That's amazing. I got one of those questions too. It's from online. Somebody asked, "What was the best fan letter you got while you were inside?"
The best fan letter, I remember I put it to the side. It was a guy, he was talking about how, and the way he was describing it, I just was so in tune. He was like, I had a pair of red Chucks. Those are my only pair of sneaks. I was homeless. I got put out. He said I was walking so much on these sneaks, they was falling apart as I walked. And he just told me a story about how bad he was doing. He was homeless. And it actually made me feel good. I don't got any freedom at right now, but I have something to go home to at the time. So he inspired me, just talking about how he was homeless. He was sleeping in subways, didn't have any money, and he just had a cell phone. And he said he was listening to my music, and it inspired him to keep going or whatever. And he ended up getting a job, getting a car, getting a house. And, you know, he made me feel better. I'm like, yo, you sitting in here all sad, stressing out.
Yeah.
When there's people homeless on the street,
Yeah, there's
don't
always
have a
somebody
family
else.
out there. I got a family I could go home to, call every day. I got money still while I'm in this situation. I got a career to go home to. He inspired me, and that was the craziest letter that touched me in there. But it was a lot. It was so many.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to hear music finally.
Yeah, I can't wait myself. I don't know what I'm gonna say when I get in the
I
studio.
want you to go today. I want you to leave here and go now to the studio.
I know, I'm looking for my engineer now. My engineer got
Come
a
on,
new job. He got a new
It's
job
time.
while I was locked away, you know what I'm saying?
What is he doing now?
He got a he's still engineering, but like
Somebody else, right?
they start paying him more when I got locked up, and now I gotta track him down and get him back because I've been recording with one engineer for like 6-7 years. I don't got the patience. Like you gotta be fast with me. Like I said, I don't write my raps, so when I'm in the booth, I might say 3 lines and I be like, all right, start it over. My engineer moves at my pace, so it's hard to really go back and forth and switch channels. But I'm ready.
We're ready too, right? We ready? We ready? All right, so we ready for music. We'll check out the doc. You should definitely check out his playlist on Tidal.
Yeah, 169
days. Welcome home, kid.
All right, I appreciate it, Angie.
Love you, Meek, man. Thank
Alrighty,
you.
love you too.
Is there anything people need to know again on the rollout that they should be? I don't know, just looking for
On the rollout, what, music?
Just of us leaving. I know you're not
Just
going
look,
away.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I
You don't
feel
know
like
what you're doing tomorrow?
I got 100 songs. I'm like, all right, which 4 am I going? Which 15 I'm gonna pick from my album if I want to drop a secret album next month, or I do it. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, like, how does this story end? Like, if you were writing the book of Meek Mill, and like, how does this story gonna end?
What, of everything?
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be a story of the greats. I got a song called "The Price of Being Great." You gotta go through a lot of different things. You be like, you the Tupac, or you like, I ain't the Tupac. Tupac is Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
He had his story. His story went the way it went, and it was legendary. I feel like my story is having a lot of legendary moments where a lot of big things are happening, and I can't call it out now. I watch everybody on Instagram. Everybody use the GOAT now. It's like everybody the greatest of all times. I don't think I'm the greatest of all times, but I think I got potential to be one of the most influential people to come out the music business since Jay-Z. I'm not really concerned with selling the most records or being the biggest artist. I just want to be the most influential and the most remembered artist in the game. That's what I got plans on doing. I think I've been having a lot of big events to live by. It's like if Meek Mill gets sentenced to jail, the whole United States stand up.
Right.
Meek Mill rap battle with Drake. He's done. It's over with him. Right back like I never left. Public relationships. Just the whole upbringing of making it through the struggle and people will be able to see me step by step making it. It's just, I think it's a good narrative to make a great story. We'll see how it play out. I can't really call it from this point, but I think we got a good shot at making something great happen.
I think so too. You're on your way. 1 of 1. Meek Mill, everybody.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, baby.